Yeah. I like that part of the song. A little grunt right there. That means it's time to start talking. He is Ian Page. I am Jason Jackson. Aren't you so glad you climbed in the bag? Before we do anything around here, how's your shoulder, man?
it's better than it was. It keeps getting better. I got a little ways to go yet.
I'm obsessed with your shoulder.
Yeah, I am too. But yeah, it's better. I mean, I got physical therapy this week where I'm going to have to pass some tests, and if I can pass them, I'm kind of be released. So I don't know what's going to happen. 50-50. The problem with degeneration and arthritis and all that is that it doesn't get better. It doesn't heal. It's not regeneration. There's only degeneration. Cortisone, people think that's a wonder drug. It does help.
It kind of is, no?
But it manages pain and inflammation, but it doesn't fix anything, doesn't heal anything. But it gets you to pay, okay, I can manage it. My pain's no longer a 7 or 8. It's more like a 1 or a 2. And then the other thing is it wears off, after 3 months maybe or something. Anyway, so that's a workaround. PT's a workaround to try and get you to recruit other muscles so that when you do these things, you don't get as much pain, but it doesn't fix it. So it's better than it was, man. Look, I can do little things. So I'm looking forward to hopefully getting cleared. And I don't know what I'm going to do if I'm not. I mean, I'll still play because one of my surgeons, I said, look, doc, what if I do some damage? Can I do any more damage? He said, well, you really can't do any more damage that I can't fix. So I said, okay, that's what I like to hear. So anyway, but thanks for checking. So it's
always. I can't wait till we tee it the very first time.
I can't either because I haven't, I don't know. I've been through some injuries, but this one is kind of weird. So I'm hoping, and I'm sure that I'll be back, but I'm a little nervous, so.
Whoa. Ian Page, Wardlaw.
Well, I mean, just because I'm like, what?
Nervousness?
Yeah. What if it doesn't? What if it pops up again or flares? So we'll see.
But you're going to have to do the thing. You're going to have to.
Right. Listen,
the replacement is.
I told my doc
an option. Yeah.
I said, look, if this doesn't, get better, he's like, well, hold on a minute here. You're still young enough where. Boom, boom, boom. That's why, again, we get to the whole manage it with these other things. We don't fix it. I said, hey, doc, we don't know how old I'm going to live to be. So, I mean, the average age is 75. I'm getting close to that now. So I'm saying let's fix it and give me whatever, 6-8 good years of a shoulder rather than manage it for 2-3 years back and forth, cortisone, PT, hurt, got to take time off. Let's go. So we'll see. I mean, the good thing is he's paid to cut. He's like, look, I don't need to cut you right now, but.
I love that.
But
love when the surgeon is real because
I could beg with him and say, "Hey, fix it, man." Because if it doesn't, you're right. Because I'm almost at the point where I'm just like, let's get it done, And you know what? And if I live to be 82, and at that point it's time to replace, because then you know what? We'll deal with that then.
You've thought this out. I like it.
Well, I'm just saying.
You're prepared,
right? Because I'm telling you something. Even though I'm who I am at 82, I'm not going to quite be what I am at 62. So at that point, if I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to need as much. You know what I mean? So,
you need to pick up a ham sandwich and a sandwich. That's
exactly
what you need to do at that point.
Maybe, yeah. So I'm just saying, but now's the time, right? These next 8-10 years, maybe, are the ones I got to have,
Got to do it, my man.
Anyway, so.
A little bit later in the program, we'll do something a little different. We're going to talk throughout this program, first of all, people that we know and enjoy. I mean, that's kind of all that matters, being a member of the spotlight here on In the Bag, but also just different walks of life within the world of golf. We're going to the Club Pro. The thankless job of being a PGA professional in a club astounds me. And I'm not going to hit our guest, Brad Petashnick, over the head with it because he's currently one now, but I do want to know the special crazy that you must have to want to adhere to people who think they own the world because they have a club membership. So we'll deal with that.
First time.
Exactly. Speaking of which, IP, I believe we're next on the sheet. Would you mind stepping up and busting one?
I'm up, man. I mean, my shoulder's messed up, but I'm up.
Tee off! Damn it, it don't matter. Oh, somebody got in the thread today, people. Somebody got in the thread with Jackson Butchergross and said, oh, I tuned in to Palm Beach Gardens and I turned it off. I had an expectation that there would be some drama and I got none. Well, I bet you Nico Echeverria felt some drama. Okay, I bet you some things felt drama filled while he's out there winning that thing because right behind him, Mr. Lowry was just. Oh, we'll get to the Shane Lowry has some things that happen in rounds when he is about to win that are becoming epic. Echeverria didn't have a bogey all weekend. Okay.
Echeverria.
Am I calling him Echeverria?
Yeah, but
That's because Joe Echeverria is the president of the University of Miami. I kept calling him that during the round. There is an I in there. Echeverria. Didn't have a bogey all weekend. Shane Lowry had a couple double bogeys down the stretch, man.
Well, he had back to back.
Rinsed them out to the right with irons.
I was watching Drive to Survive, but I mean, I saw it
16 and 17.
I saw it on Twitter. Those shots didn't have a chance. I mean, I don't understand either of those shots from a touring professional. I mean, maybe let's say I give you the 16, 17. At least the shot I saw on X, it started right and went right. I mean, it didn't have a chance. So that's the only thing you can't do there. And now he plays a cut, but if I'm saying, then you better aim at 40 yards. You might be long and you might be back, but you're not going to be right and rinse it, especially after you just made a double and rinsed it on 16.
My goodness,
I mean, the only thing you can't do is rinse it.
Modulated with anger right there.
I mean, it's just I'm going to tell you right now, me, you, and Butch in a $5 match, I'll tell you what I'm not doing on 16 and 17. I'm not putting balls in the water. No. And I'm not a Shane Lowry, but I'm not rinsing it there. I'm not.
Matter of fact, I am going opposite and cutting it back. That's how that works.
I may be long and left. I may be in the woods but I'm not going right.
He was Nico. We don't talk about Nico, but we will on this program. Jeez. He was 3 shots back with 3 holes left. I mean, he was calculating that second place money already.
I know. I tuned out. I tuned in and I said, this is over. Gone. I watched the first episode.
His goal was, it was a blessing today for your pocket. Absolutely, it was. We'll discuss the placement of this particular tournament and how the signature events are crushing it.
Huge problem.
But Lowry with the consecutive double bogeys.
That's an epic meltdown. I didn't see that coming. And anyway, yeah.
But I will say this, and I told you and John this in the thread. I think John was watching. Lowry walks off 18 and has to be dejected, right? I mean,
man,
he tied for second. But he also, by the way, had a putt for second for himself alone.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't.
And left that one short because the stuff has to be.
Well, that's going to leave
your brain.
What happened today will leave some scar tissue. I don't. I don't care. It's a tough game.
But he walked off and signed. There were some young kids that were still there.
Well, good for him.
Twilight in the golden hour, and they don't care what just happened.
Exactly.
There's a touring pro. Probably know him from Ryder Cup, and they want to get signatures.
Yeah,
and he did it, which I loved that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. I feel for the guy. I'm gonna, I don't know him. But one of the players I never got to know when I was at, but I mean, I don't know how you back-to-back double there. I just don't know how you do it.
By the way, the headline there, because I didn't give Matty Shoes a headline. That's how you don't drive for Lowry for all the. For all the Bad Boys fans. That's how you don't drive, Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry. Okay. Shane Lowry. Yeah. All right. Okay. That's the last time I ever do a headline last. That was a tough shot. The next headline is Majors victory. Majors victory, IP, because Casey Jarvis had 3 birdies in his opening 5 holes in the South African Open on Sunday. Finished 3 under 67. And you know what that did for him? That earned him a spot in the Masters and the Open Championship. That's right. Otherwise, wouldn't be on the show because you wouldn't care. Okay?
Exactly.
Even though Jarvis has won 2 times in 2 weeks on the DP World Tour, taking care of the Kenyan Open last week before heading South Africa to South Africa.
Good for him. Good for him.
2 weeks. Those are, you want those exemptions or invitations and
right. So
good stuff. All right, you don't
absolutely.
Next headline: going down. That's just heartless. It's heartless because I'm talking about Andrea Pavin, who badly injured himself.
Oh, yeah,
the Italian golfer from falling down an elevator shaft when the doors opened and he was unaware the car wasn't there. Who the hell are you talking to?
I don't know. I mean, right, were you distracted by the phone? I mean, I couldn't, the article I read, I couldn't quite
It wasn't clear. Now he's
understand
he's
how that happened,
he's
but
played mostly in Europe. He played at Texas A&M. He suffered injuries to his back. No shit.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and he's got a shoulder issue. He could come on and
Oh,
talk about. I'm not making light of it. It's just insane. I don't want to
I
make
don't
light of
know.
it.
When
But it's just he's had surgery. We had it on Wednesday night, right?
yeah, I think,
As
and
he
then,
was going to play in the South African Open.
yeah, he was on his way, I think, and he did put something out on social media saying he's okay and he's in good hands. It's going to be a long recovery, but
Good
yeah, I mean,
Lord. Now I
crazy.
hate the headline. The headline is now sad, and I shouldn't have gone there, but I couldn't. He
Yeah,
fell 3 stories.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's why I sent that to you guys. It was like, what the,
Good
and then Butch
Lord.
sends it 5 hours later. I'm like, bro, see above, bro. What the? I sent this
No,
yesterday.
I'm moving things from like, here's what, okay.
No,
I
this is
just,
Butch.
oh, that was Butcher Girls. Okay. So
Yeah,
you
he
realize I'm
sent it like
just
5 hours later, like it's a
moving
breaking
things
news. I'm
into
like,
our
dude, I sent
thread.
this
Yes,
yesterday, whatever it was.
exactly.
Anyway, but right, because I mean, there's stories and then there's stories. Like
Yeah.
that's unique. You're like, what? And so right, I was
God,
like,
what a
wow.
heartless
Look, I hope
headline.
he's all right. Yeah, I mean, it sounds
BYU.
like he's, air quotes okay, but
Yeah. I mean, he's still got it's going to be a minute.
yeah, I think
That's
so.
going to be a minute. I mean, 30 feet straight down. Ugh,
Yeah, and
Lord.
especially when you're not expecting it.
What
No,
was
yeah,
he
I can't
doing?
even
He had to
imagine.
be texting or watching
Yeah,
Instagram.
I
I
don't.
mean,
That's
what?
the thing. I couldn't. Yeah, we need more information about that.
Next headline.
I-
Here's Jimmy. Oh, yeah. Past U.S. Open champion Jim Furyk is testing the television waters out IP as
Mm.
the lead analyst in the booth for Golf Channel during its weekday coverage of the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill. That's coming up this week, followed by the Players Championship. His stint also includes Golf Channel's 2 hours of leading coverage. Did he see that in the contract? Was that in the fine print? Wait a minute, I got a live
Uh,
at, and I'm in the booth. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Furyk said, quote, it's probably on a trial basis. See how much I like it, get a feel for it. With any new endeavor, it's a learning process. There's a feel and flow for how the show is done. I'm focused on doing the best job for 2 weeks. He'll be in the booth with Terry Gannon for both events. This kind of surprised me. I
yeah,
just didn't see this in the future for
no.
Furyk.
Uh, and he's never done any TV or anything before. It's not like he's dabbled. So it'll be interesting to see. I think some of these guys, they're good. Most of them are not. And it's just, he's got the pedigree, but that was a guy who I know when I was around. Because he was in his sort of heyday, and great guy, but we always used to say he was not the best
Making
interview,
news,
and
right?
he wasn't. Yeah, and he just wasn't. You would never have seen him doing TV. He was always like, yeah, well, I made birdie on 60. So hey, I mean, and he's a big Steelers fan. But hey, maybe he'll be great.
Yeah,
He'll, we
you
go,
never
hey,
know till
we
you
go
know.
we gonna find out.
Hey, and
You
we're
know,
talking about it right
we are
here.
going to find out.
Absolutely.
So, and I
Eyepiece
don't
turning
know
on the audio, people, just for a little,
exactly. I
a
mean, I'm
little
not.
taste for work.
So we'll see. And I guess I didn't know the studio stuff. So that's always tricky too, because that's a whole different animal. But
Oh, it's a monster.
yeah, so you're
Talking about
just
two
jumping.
hours of leading coverage.
Yeah. So now you just,
We don't get
those
your
pregame
tape, your
shows and those postgame shows,
anticipation.
those are just hours and hours of, sponsored, sold out nonsense. So you're just talking about one thing. So, to go from 0 to 100 for him, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I think the booth would be fine. You can, hopefully he can get in, get out, make some points. Is he insightful? The studio thing's another game. So, but whatever, we'll see.
Now, apparently, he had he had an opportunity 22 years ago in the booth. He was injured during the Players and came in as he was
Okay. Oh, wow.
recovering from surgery on his
Yeah.
left wrist and spent some time. So he'll recollect on the generation ago when he was
All right.
the town.
There's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Stankowski, great guy, and they tried him out for a little bit when I was there, and even he was like, after 2 events, he's like, yeah, I'm just not very good, and it was like,
He was out of there.
and he was right. But I
I
mean,
like the self awareness.
it just it was hard. It's hard for some of these guys. So, but hey, you might as well try. No harm in
It's your
trying.
expertise. Now, can you be infotaining with it? We'll see.
Right.
We'll
You know.
see. Last headline for you here, buddy. Dance. Billy Dance is the headline. Is Billy Horschel's wild shot fan spat ejection at the Cognizant Classic was something else. It was Friday, right? The second round.
I think it was, yeah, Thursday or Friday.
Horschel was up against the grandstands in the rough. This after his tee shot on the 15th. We had no idea there was going to be so much drama. Went about 20 yards or so deep and left to the green. He hit out from there, but his wedge flew the green and caused a splash. Moments later, that man got into it with some folks in the grandstand. Who said that?
And the thing is, I don't know. I mean, I think he thinned it out of that rough, and I think he had been talking about overseeding. I think during the week.
He was earlier in the week.
So yes, exactly. I don't know what was said. I don't know that we know that what was said. I don't think it was anything, certainly from an NBA or an NFL fan, anything at that level. And I think his first thing that was picked up the mic was like, "Oh, I guess you guys got to make yourself feel good about yourself." It wasn't like he was like, "Hey, shut the F up. You called me something." So I'm not really sure. And then it sort of just seemed to spiral. It's just like, man, just to me, it's just like, let's just let that go.
And we got, whoever was shouting it got kicked out of there.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Like, what's he getting thrown out for, or her? I mean, I'm not sure they use profanity or anything. I think I don't know. I'm just making this up. He might have said something like, "Yeah, talk about overseed. Why'd you thin it then?" or something. That's part of the game to me. I mean, I don't know what I mean, but it's like that's not something you should be thrown out.
Well, the mics were jacked up, right? Because it was Smiley Kaufman has that segment every Friday called Happy Hour.
Oh, I don't know.
There's more audio and stuff, and it was that
yeah.
Was the 15
and even if we heard, I mean, come on, I don't think it was anything that someone should have been ejected for. Golfers got to get a thicker skin if we're trying to grow the game and have a little atmosphere. You don't think some stuff more than that was said at Phoenix at the 16th hole with those kids drinking?
Come on now.
I mean, I'm not yet saying you should.
But your mind and body are jacked up for that, right? They kind of transition their mind for that.
I mean, right. But again, I don't think anything was said, at least looking at the exchange online, that was anything out of line. So, I think Billy needed to get a little thicker skin. I don't know that person should have been ejected for that, but, whatever. And here's the next thing. Don't thin the shot. And I don't think anything would have been said.
Nobody says anything. So I have to say this to you, buddy. We have a guest, so get off the team.
All right, let me go.
Member guest this week. Let's go to the spotlight. Let the spotlight shine with a little vitamin D, maybe a vitamin D3 supplement off the shelf at CVS for Brad Petashnick, my friend, my golf muse, I would say. I think that's the appropriate scenario. And a guest here on In the Bag. We were talking back of house about how Brad, a PGA professional, joins us here on the program. But he was a teaching pro in South Florida at Riviera Country Club, not the one out west, the one here in the east, in Coral Gables, Florida. And we became friendly there. And then he decided that the weather's too awesome in South Florida. Brad, is that how that went? You decided it was too great here, you went back to the motherland. Explain what happened.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. I just decided that the sun was a little too bright down there, so I figured I would come north. Exactly like you said, I was down at Riviera. Actually ran the junior program down there, which was huge and awesome. A lot of fun working with the kids. Some of your fellows worked with Battier's kids as well, which was awesome. Some sweet kids there, but. Moved around a little bit. When I left Riviera, I went to New Orleans Country Club for a couple of years.
That's right. You did have a Gulf Coast stop there, yeah.
That's right. Bounced around, but went there for a couple seasons and worked as an assistant, and then ended up getting the head pro job up here in Wisconsin at the Legend at Brandybrook, where I was for 4 years, and I'm still with the Legend clubs, but transferred to one of our other locations over here in Madison called the Legend at Bergamot. So now I'm the head pro and membership director over here. But it's been awesome. It was kind of one of those unique opportunities, I think, in life where you get to advance career wise and also get closer to family and some of that stuff that doesn't always line up with it. So, yeah, I was really fortunate that that all worked out.
Bradley, you just put a smile on Ethan Page's face. He heard all those clubs that you can call and get us a little friends and family. That's what I just saw.
Anytime I can help.
It'll be June or July.
Hey, that is key. That is key for us.
Yeah.
Brad, so let's talk about your playing life, right? So I imagine every club pro at some point in their timeline, in their mind, in their hopes, in their life said, "Oh no, I'm gonna be on tour, baby."
Oh yeah.
Did you go through that, or was it something you decided early on? Hey, listen, of course I'm a really good player, but I know the difference, and I'm going to teach.
Yeah, I think everybody does have that a little bit. I think we all get into the industry for the same reason, right? We love the game. And when you have that, I think there's always the aspiration of how good can I get? For me, it was kind of a unique path to golf. I didn't, I grew up in a small town here in Wisconsin. My dad was in the military my whole life. Country club world and advanced junior golf was not part of my upbringing, right? And I learned to play the game from my dad and just played a lot in summer. And that was pretty much it. Just went and kind of dug it out of the dirt sort of thing. And I was okay in high school, but I wasn't anything special. Really, I was my first kind of career was pursuing music theater and acting, and was in New York. And like every great actor, I had a really good restaurant job at that time. So so I finally kind of had time and whatever to play. And so I would take the one train from Manhattan up to all the way north, gets you up to Van Cortlandt Park. It's the oldest public golf course in the U.S.
The Vanny.
The Vanny. And
I played it.
it's awesome. It's a fun little track. I mean, it's got some goofy holes and whatever, but
yeah,
it's the world's slowest round of golf. But it's you meet some fascinating people, and it was great. So anyway, I played some golf and really just was starting to look at like maybe there's some amateur tournaments, and ended up going back to school. And so for me, I hadn't played golf for probably 5 years after high school.
Wow. Like at all? Not even like casually?
No, I mean, maybe around a year, maybe.
Oh my God, you're the scramble guy.
Exactly. So yeah, and then I ended up going down to school in Florida. And yeah, I mean, my first intention when I went down was, curious to see with all of the resources that a school provided, how good could I get? And, was that something I could pursue? And I played in, I played in one just mini tour event down in Florida. It was a 1 day event. I think on the minor league tour of golf, I believe is the illustrious tour.
Oh man, that sounds like you guys had jackets with patches on them. That's fun.
I got to tell you, we were an attractive group, but it was pretty fun. And I went out and played my one event, and I think the leader only beat me by about 12, and it was about a 25-person field, and that was kind of like, oh. Not that good. All right. And so, I quickly kind of pivoted and, realized the immense expense that there is to try and pursue it, a long-term thing, and two, just how far behind the eight ball I would have been. So yeah, now I compete in all of our PGA section events and things, and I love it because it's a way to compete and have fun. But it's a bunch of working stiffs like myself that get out there and tee it up.
You would love in your club members like Ian Page and yours truly, Jason Jackson. We bring a smile to your face, probably an automatic pay, like you're not chasing us for money, right?
Yeah.
We're not on you on the weekends. IP might, but I just don't play on the weekends. I'm a weekend.
Yeah, I don't play much. So
yeah. And so I want you to. I know some of your members will find the link. It'll be in the algorithm, or they're just tracking your life because they want to make it worse than they already do. But walk us through the challenges of being, what's the appropriate term? PGA professional when you're a club pro? Is that the right way to put that?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, obviously you don't have to be a PGA professional necessarily to be in a club pro,
you better be.
but
You better be. We want our pros to come out and
right,
play and win some stuff. Let's go.
that's right. But yeah, it's there's a lot of unique challenges to it. I think one of the things
That's a
about
PGA pro. That's a club pros term right there. Unique challenges. I'm cutting you off right now. We
that's
want to know what makes a job shitty. That's what we want to know. Because you have to maintain a glorious presence when the women's club is coming at you, the men's group from Saturday and Sunday mornings on your ass. The kids want to come in and just rough up your putting green. Listen, this is at times, not a rewarding profession.
yeah, yeah, it can be, and it's honestly part of I think probably the most taxing, and I think there was a great article, I think it was in Golf Digest a few years ago. Uh, but the hardest thing is time, right? There is a much to kind of what you alluded to, right? I mean, there's stuff going on at the club all the time,
Yeah.
whether ladies events, men's events, junior outings that we're hosting. We host a lot of USGA events and PGA section events and stuff in our facilities. So there's always something going on, and it's everybody wants for their pro to be there to facilitate those, to welcome them, to be the face and familiar with it. And it's hard to kind of shut the clock off. There's no like punching out, right? I mean, the
Yeah.
email's always there, the text message is always there, that kind of a thing. And so, balancing personal life with that can be pretty tough. But I think the industry as a whole has gotten worlds better in the last number of years, really almost since COVID. And kind of
Is that just because of the sheer interest boost or some other
Yeah,
element?
I think a little bit of it. Some is the interest boost. I think a lot of what COVID did was sort of exposed some of club life that maybe wasn't as glorious as everybody thought, right? Particularly for the people that work there. Uh, I think
Some
clubs,
consideration for a change.
yeah, yeah, I just think clubs had to sort of reevaluate
Yeah.
how important the people were that were there and what it meant during that time. I mean, golf courses were one of the only places that could be open, right? Because people
Right.
could be
Yeah.
outside and social distance and all that. And, they kind of went, hey, we're essentially saying you're essential as a golf employee, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of it
You
was
know,
an eye opener, but it's great.
how do you deal with slow play at your club? Because we know it's an
All we
issue.
care about on In the Bag. Play
I mean,
fast.
it's such a challenge.
Yeah, I know you guys have talked about it a bunch on here. So
Yeah.
we're kind of unique, and I think a lot of clubs have different ways of doing it, but um, we are very strict on pace of play at our
Okay.
club.
I love it.
We basically have we use a web platform called 4Ts for our tee sheets, and in there, you can set basically a time par for every single hole of, okay, this was your tee time, this is when you should be done with that hole.
Right.
And so when we go out, like we ranger all the time on the course, and it's either me or one of my assistants out there doing that. And then, I can literally pull up the tee sheet and we will watch and like, okay, that group put the flag stick in the green and I'll put the time in and it'll turn pink if they're behind pace.
Wow.
So I can literally go up to them and go, hey, you guys are 3 minutes behind pace. I know you're only through 6, 7 holes. Let's not let it get any more, blah, blah, blah. And it takes a little bit of the subjectiveness of like, well, no
Yeah.
one's waiting away,
Exactly. Yeah. We're
Not
not the problem. Right.
totally.
Yeah, you are. Okay. But no one thinks they
Multiple
are,
times.
but right. Well, we got the math here to say, yeah, you're behind. So
How many talking twos until they got to go? They get two warnings. Is that it? Second time around,
Yeah, usually
tip them a little bit.
first time you're obviously pretty gentle. Maybe they're not even aware of it. And
aware.
depending
Right.
where they're at in the round, right? I mean, you try to kind of, it's where a little bit of the velvet touch comes in is like, you gotta kind of watch and be like, all right, well, did they look for a ball for 3 minutes and then whatever? Like, did you catch them at a really
Yeah.
bad time? But yeah, then you give them kind of the one polite warning, maybe pop back 2, 3 holes later. And then if if either it's gotten worse or they haven't caught up. And then it's a little firmer reminder. And then after that, like we will, have a group skip a hole. Like if
Yeah, good.
we're behind and it's packed. I mean,
Right.
I always say, look, it's not really about trying to upset your day, but your day is no more
You're
important.
upsetting, right, 80 other people potentially. Exactly. You're part of a community, and that's the problem is you are affecting other people and giving them a bad day. So, and you would think that people wouldn't want to do that, but that's what I tell people too, and I tell Jackson it's not about us. And then, like you say, if you're losing a minute, 2 or 3 per hole, if you multiply that by 9 holes, you're at a half hour.
Yeah.
And if you multiply it by 18, you're an hour behind. So now you got 40 people behind 10 groups that are really having a problem. And that's just not fair to anybody.
No, and it stacks up quick.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And we always say like if they make it to 9 and they're like more than 5 minutes behind and we haven't talked to them, like we already missed the mark. Like it's too late. How much time can you make up? I mean, you can, but realistically, they're going to stop at the turn, grab something,
Exactly. Right.
hit the bathroom. Like you've already lost. So it's a constant battle, but it's doable. But you got to have. I'm in a fortunate situation where my club's a family-owned club, and
Mm,
that owns it is headed by a PGA professional himself who's been in all of our shoes. And so
yeah.
there's not necessarily a board that like if I went to a board member and said, "Hey, you got to skip a hole," like I'm worried about my job. Yeah, it's a little easier in that circumstance, but
Before we get you out of here, and our favorite part of a segment in a segment that's coming up, so I hope you're prepared. But you have to have a good caddy story. What? Give us your favorite, like funky caddy story, an individual, not like an actual mom, but an individual that was a character. I feel like every caddy has some story that involves another country and or prison.
boy, I don't know if I have anything that lives up to that.
No, I mean just like they're either from another country or did some stuff that they need some income that doesn't require paperwork.
Yeah, great question. Gosh,
Yeah, that's a goodie right there.
it is. It's funny, as much golf as I've played, I haven't used caddies as much as I would probably like.
But
Uh,
some have worked for you, right? I mean, they mill around trying to get some loops.
yeah, I do always like, well, here, I'll give you a good caddy story,
There
actually.
we go. This has got to be a guy that calls you Mr. B, by the way. He doesn't even really
So,
know your first name. He just goes, "Hey, Mr. B, can I get a couple loops?"
so this is actually, technically, I guess it's not a caddy story, but it's kind of a caddy story.
Okay.
So it's really about me and how unaware I was of golf world at a time. So I lived in LA for a few years, um, and I used to share a car with my mom, and I would drive her. We lived in the valley. We'd drive her
Such a
over the
good
hill,
boy.
she'd
Yeah.
go to work, whatever. I'd go about my day, whatever auditions or whatever I had, and then I would go pick her up, blah blah blah. But I'd worked every mid-low level job, Starbucks, you name it, restaurants, whatever I could find, and
But if they paid on time, come on now.
they all paid on time, none of them,
Yeah.
and you know, but it was, finally at some point, I saw a post, and I don't remember where it was, but I saw a post that they were hiring or looking for caddies at LA Country Club.
Oh,
And I
wow.
went,
Yeah.
I drive by like four of the best country clubs probably like all the time. Didn't even think about it. But I was like, I have no idea what to do. So I did what I thought would work, right? So I put on a nice coat and tie and printed a resume. And I thought, oh, I'll just drive over there, turn my resume in. Believe it or not, LA Country Club did not want that. So I made it to the security gate and asked if the security guard would, give that to the right person, and I'm sure it found the trash bin. So that was about the extent of my caddy career. But it was just kind of a funny thing that, like back then,
Yeah. Yeah.
just shows you how far out of touch I was with.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I'll just walk into LACC.
Yeah, I'll just show up, give my resume.
Did you have a jumper on? I mean, what? Some overalls? What?
No, you won't be. We won't be coming in today, Mr. P.
Yeah, you would just hit that box on the outside. Can I help you?
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Oh my God. My man, this leads us to the glorious segment for men and women and children of all ages. Bradley, will you show us your balls? Show us your balls.
I would love to. I would love to. Oddly enough, I wasn't sure this was the first time you asked me that, but
It's literally the third. That one night in New Orleans. Let's just leave it at that.
fair. So I brought two for you as seemed appropriate. First of which,
Atomically.
the first of which is this little bad boy, which
Yeah, that's a hole in one. That's a hole in one.
Callaway.
yeah, it's the Chrome Soft X. So that ball is the ball that I made my only albatross with.
Wow.
It was a couple years ago.
Set it up. Tell the whole story.
So it was a good one. So it was, standard golf pro life, sneak out, go play a few holes with the assistants at the end of the day at like 7 p.m., 6:30, right? Like try and, go play 9 or whatever. And so we are, this was probably 2 years ago. We're on the back 9, we get to this par 5 and there's a storm kind of rolling in and you get these big fronts up here in Wisconsin, right? So you can kind of see the wall, right, of the storm coming. And we're on about the 14th hole. And the 15th is a par 5. And we're on the tee and we're like, man, let's get this hole done. And then we probably need to go in and maybe blow the horn, like go get everybody off the course because
let's finish first and then we'll take care of
it. Yeah. So we
all right.
15, big dog leg right, whatever. So I got the corner, big drive, and then I've got like 245 in and hit a little like kind of a cut, like a 19-degree driving iron that I have. And the hole kind of has a 2-tier green. And so I thought, if I land in that lower portion, the pin was on the right, just below the ridge. And it's like, if it hits there and hits the slope, like it'll probably funnel in pretty close. And we saw it go right. I mean, I hit both shots about as good.
Oh, you saw it too? That's
better. It was great. Better. I saw it. Like, awesome. Let's grab my ball and let's go get everybody off the golf course.
Beautiful.
That was it.
Now, which ball was that again? That was the Callaway.
That was Soft Tour X.
Yep.
Sorry.
And now the ball that I play is the Callaway Chrome Tour, number 3 there for you.
Okay.
Weird thing about playing odd numbers, I don't know, but I like it.
Nice.
And the Chrome Tour tickles your fancy. Why?
It does. Well, a couple of reasons. One, I've been a Callaway staff professional for.
There we go. Cash money.
So that certainly helps. Just give it to me. But honestly, over time, the new Chrome Tour ball has been awesome. And I actually really. Callaway's always kind of been known for having a softer feel in their golf ball. It doesn't feel as firm and as kind of clicky almost as you can get in some, like a Pro V or whatever. And I just prefer that feel. It feels softer off the club. And then really in the testing the last couple of years, I mean, this ball's been awesome and has frankly performed as well as any in the market. And it's been nice. I mean, it's, I wouldn't say that the entirety of my 12 years with him that the ball was always as good as it is now, but it's really good.
Partner, we appreciate you taking time to slide by in the bag. Very best to your beautiful and very lovely, outstandingly hilarious and talented wife, Tristan. We missed the Tristanosaurus.rex on Instagram. There's been a slow of that roll over the last couple of years.
Yes. The social media presence in the household has gone down, I think, over the years. But
as we grow up,
that's a good thing.
Bradley, we'll try to come up there this summer and try to do some damage, my man. I might drag IP once he's cleared for his ailments. The man is up there in age and more body dynamics. But if we can do it, we'll come see you, buddy.
Please do. Anytime, guys.
Thanks, Brad.
Bradley, kind enough to spend some time with us, and we got to get going. We're dragging ass a little bit. We're the ones that'll be on the clock right now. So let's get to the deep drive. Our topic, one of your favorites, buddy. Ian Page loves to discuss the impact of swing speed, and this came up particularly for the pros. Did you? I think you found this stat on Bridgman, Jacob Bridgman, only about 2.5 yards above average in driving distance, and his average ball speed with driver when he won is faster than Rory's average driver was in 2020. So let's put this in context because I'm just not sure that everybody, and thanks to the gang at No Laying Up for putting this out, and they make the great point, is that do people fully grasp how much faster the tour has gotten in the last 6 years? I've told you, I need oxygen and water after every quarter of a Heat game because the pace in the NBA is out of control. It is, and I don't mean in a bad way. I like the game going up and down. Yeah. But when I started this job, this part of my responsibilities 5 years ago, and I looked at a stat sheet, 80 to 89 field goal attempts. That was a night. That was a night. You bought a thermos and a lunch pail with a hard hat with a light on it. Dog, I mean, the Heat are averaging 93 field goal attempts with oftentimes three figures in the FGA column. So I get how speed kills and speed changes, but in this small period of time, an average cat is 6 years behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I've been saying. All those guys know it. You know, if you're not in the 180s in ball speed, you're not winning out there, except for maybe a couple of events, maybe at Hilton Head or Colonial, where, you know, they're shorter courses would have dog legs that you've got to be positioned. And so those guys are all speed training. You know, it used to be 10 years ago, just, you know, Bryson got bulked up and one or two people were speed training. Now they're all doing, whether it's ripstick or super speed or stack like Fitzpatrick. They know they got to be in the 180s or even 190 ball speed to be able to compete on these courses that are long, firm, you know, flags and hole locations are tucked over bunkers. If you don't have the kind of speed to bring it in high enough to stop it, you're not winning. So you're right. They all know that, and they all know if you're in the 160s in the ball speed out there, you're not winning out there. It's just not happening. So you've got to be moving. So they're all speed training now. Bryson is speed training. We all know that. He put the weight on, then he put it back, but he's still speed training. And this guy, he has 190 ball speed, but that's why he's close to winning a lot of times.
Squaring the face when you're swinging that hard / fast, IP kind of gives someone the balance because you got the old heads. They're like, "Hey, slow down. Why are you swinging so hard?" I've always swung hard. Quit talking to me. This is not a lesson. Okay, right. I've gotten nasty about it. People start trying.
Yeah, you should exactly. Leave me alone. What do you shoot?
Exactly.
Yeah.
By the way, make sure I get all my candy. I want all of it too. But the balance is there. Is this semantics? Swinging hard and fast, or is that the same thing?
No, I mean, really, I look at it as differently. I mean, because swinging hard is something else. Swinging fast is what you want to do. You want to move that club head as fast as you can, and obviously, the faster you swing it, and the more the face is open or closed, the wider the dispersion is going to be. But if you look at all these guys, they're all pretty accurate. And there have been studies with speed training that your dispersion and your accuracy is about the same, if not a little bit better, because you're also learning sequencing and you're kind of feeling that face.
So it's not just grip it and rip it.
Right. Well, right, and it's stuff. But as you want to sequence it correctly, and you want all the speed you can get with that driver, man. You want to hit it as far as you can hit it. I mean, and people talk about fairways. I tell you all the time, and the stats show it. Their fairways are overrated. Okay, so you need to be as closest to the hole as you can get, and that will lead directly to a lower score. It doesn't have any. I don't care if you're in the fairway from 198. If I'm in the rough at 148, I'm going to hit it closer than you 95 times out of 100. Even a PGA Tour pro, it just is. Now if I'm behind a tree or there's water, there's a hazard, different story.
Yeah, but if you block it out in the water off the tee, I mean,
exactly.
But otherwise, you hit the fairway.
You need to hit it as far as you can, and those guys are doing it. And you look at those guys, right? And the Jacob Bridgmans, those guys. It's amazing now how they all train. If you'll see them on the range, you'll see they'll have one of those speed. There's a bunch of them now. Mm-hmm. Speed-toed super sticks. They've all got them because they know that they got to be faster. So. And look, we talked about it. Was it last week when you got 273 yard par threes? You better be moving. It doesn't make any sense. But if you're playing there, you better have the speed to hit that. So it's crazy, man. But and look at how much speed have increased from 20 years. The numbers are crazy. But you can train to speed. Speed can be trained. So that's what these guys are doing now, and they really have to.
I will always, until my back doesn't allow, go past parallel, and I will swing hard.
Exactly.
Now, fast, I have to go and track. I can't wait to get all this data when the season's over. You want me to go into the facility and get all measured up and squared up. I look forward to all this data and information. What is your anticipation for my swing speed, please? You've been watching this monstrosity for damn near 3 days.
I don't know. I'm going to say
it ain't slow. It ain't slow.
No, it's not. You're up to. I would guess your driver speed's around 100. Just a guess.
Right. Ball hopping off that busy at about $130. What do
you now, but like I say, now we need to optimize that. In terms of delivery, attack angle. I would also.
All things I'm not thinking about at all.
Right. And we don't want you to, but we want to get you in there so that we get everything optimized, and then you go out and play. And now with your launch conditions, your spin, everything's optimized. I also would guess that your driver angle of attack, what's called, is down.
Slightly steep, yes.
Steep. So and obviously to maximize launch, I think we want to hit up on driver. We want to hit up 4, 5, 6 degrees. So we don't want to change your swing. And if you have enough speed to hit down, and because what happens when the more you hit down, the more spin you create, and therefore less distance. Now, if you're swinging at like 125, like Rory, it doesn't really matter. But there are ways to minimize the spin if you're hitting it down, and there's club head, shaft, various things to get you optimized as opposed to Matt, as opposed to me, so that we have you in your unique situation optimized, so you can go out and swing as hard as you want. We know we've got your launch conditions dialed in, we got everything, and now you're good, because I can guarantee you're not optimized right now. Guarantee it.
Oh, absolutely. And if I am, it's a total just, farce. Like I just happen, because there's just stuff I like. I've just picked things I like.
Exactly. And most people do.
Mostly
now
by
we've just
eyeball.
got all this information that we can say, hey, let's get this spin.
No, not the optimization. I'm talking when I'm going to buy all this stuff because I want to be the guy that you want me to be, IP.
Well, that's another story. but yeah, getting you optimized will cost about $150.
Yeah, because I'm a scratch bourbon drinker, but I need some strokes on the course. Bryce and Matt probably are closer to optimized. It's Antoinette, who now, after being around these discussions for a month and a half, almost 2 months now, the bug's bitten her. She wants to play golf.
Good.
Yeah.
Well,
mostly to get away from her young children, but also because she hears all this conversation on this show. Let's we bang that one. That thing was optimized. That was 310 right down the middle. Not even, it was a knuckle, but it wasn't even spinning. Nothing. Let's slide over to the range. Do you mind?
No, let's go.
Actually, it's a little off of the range this week. We're going to go to the putting green.
Okay.
And because
another place you need to be optimized.
You got to be. And by the way, I spend more time there than I do on the range. It's always been my way.
Yeah, and
I'm not a horrible putter because of it. But you sent a fascinating video that shows how wind affects your putts on the green. And I just don't think we really think about it unless it's a gale force wind.
Exactly.
Right. But unless you grew up in West Texas.
Right. Or Florida in March. But it does, I think when you get up around 10, 12 miles an hour, it can affect it for sure. And so much so that the video I sent with you just, with a robot and just dropping the ball down, it 4 or 5 different putts.
How much this perfect putter robot costs?
Yeah.
I want one.
That's not
I just
much.
want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't even need it for my putting. I just want to.
And I can show you videos where they, does a scuff mark matter? Does a ball? I mean, all kinds of things. But yeah, if you saw that video, as I showed it to you, you're looking
this is the wind blowing across your line.
That's what I'm saying, right? So you're missing right, left, everything based on wind.
We got gusts of 20 miles per hour can throw an 8-foot putt substantially off its line.
Yeah.
And otherwise, flat putt, that much wind can blow your ball offline, and it's something that probably most of us don't even think. Now, most of us aren't playing, right?
Yeah, in those kind of conditions.
20 miles per hour, okay? So debris issue. But gusts pop up while you're playing.
Yeah,
and longer the putt, I guess, the more it could impact, right?
Absolutely. Like that first day we played at Lagorce with your boy Cleveland Steamer.
God, how about the slapping that day, boy?
It was windy as hell.
That was a sweet slack swap.
Right. That had to be 20 miles an hour because I could barely hear you or anybody else. That's how much wind was going the whole day.
There was a lot of
that effect, and I think it just goes to show, as I talk about putting, is yes, we need to get you locked in with, can you aim your putter correctly and so forth and so on. But then you just have to understand that you or me or anybody else is just not going to make a lot of putts, and you can't beat yourself up about it. It wasn't your fault. So, and that's, I think, the big takeaway for all of this stuff. The pros miss, 50% of 8-footers.
Come on.
The best putters.
Give these people some grace. Give them some grace.
So take it easy, And so and then you throw a little wind in and bump it, you're just not going to make it. So the point is, you put a good stroke on it, you think you aimed it right. Hey man, you got to move on. But
that was the win.
Yeah, and it could have been.
Damn win, exactly. But the thing is, here's the thing: how do most players, right? These are people with double-digit handicaps, right? Most players even begin to understand, first of all, that it does have an effect, right? Like it actually is a thing. And then how much adjustment you're making for it. What have you begun to quantify in your mind about, okay, well, if it's 10 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, and again, I don't know if it's the number or the feel that you have to have about how your ball is being held up. Like, say, on a left or right putt, you got to get that a little more left.
Exactly.
God, I'm reading the green. How am I going to?
Right.
Lick my finger and put it in there.
Exactly. At that point, you just say it is what it is, and you do the best you can. And again, there's another guy on Instagram who has great stuff with the robot roller. Just little things like, how much of a scuff mark matters, and trust me, it doesn't take much. People, I'm not going to take this ball out of play. Guess what? You're not going to make any putts today. If there's a little scuff mark, and you need to take that ball out of play, because he shows it rolls. You're going to miss 20 putts. They're just not going in. Anyway, so
can you get a feel, IP, at the practice screen? Is that a decent, like, when
you want to feel for the speed. That's what people don't understand. Speed is more important than line, okay? Because speed, right. But especially if you're looking at long lag putts, you may be off, left to right by 2 feet, let's say. But it doesn't really matter if you're 15 feet short. As long as you've got the distance right or your speed right, you're still going to have a 2-foot tap in. So that's the key. Same with even these shorter putts. The face needs to be square, but your speed has to be right. You shrink the distance of the hole. Everyone, Pels was wrong. He was right about a lot of things, but trying to hit that thing 18 inches past shrinks the hole. The make percentage drops because you shrink the hole.
Send me the data.
Right, you're right. He was running a lot of things, but he was wrong on that. You need to be drippy. You need to be dripping that in the front edge to expand the make percentage. I'm just saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pour it in like molasses.
But that's what people wonder. I'm lipping out all these putts. You know what? Then stop hitting it so hard. But again, in the math is there. I'll send it to you.
I got to get it up there. It was uphill. It was into the grain.
Yeah, you need to get it there, but it doesn't need to be. Every lip out is too firm. There was too much pace on that. It has no chance of going in. I'll send you we'll talk about it next week. I'll send you the math. Again, they've done the studies. So, a foot by shrinks the hole by like 18 inches, 2 feet by, you got no shot. The hole is now no longer 4 1/4 inches. It's about 1/4 inch. And you sit there all day. I'm lipping out all day. Then take some pace off the putts. It has no chance to go in. You're shrinking the hole.
Will you put that documentation in the WhatsApp, please? You have me all over the place looking for these stories. Okay. It's me, it's you, it's me and you and Butch, and then it's the thing.
Which is a day late. Look at breaking news.
Leave Butch Gross alone. He's got to get back to work now. The Olympic hiatus is over. Hey, before we get to the 19th hole, and I'm always lying, we live life in the 19th hole. But before that segment, let's talk about Jack's Fan Foundation. Oh, the top initiative. It's called Get There, a full cost of attendance bridge. I learned that line because I sleep with a lady who works at a university. Full cost of attendance bridge. Exactly. That focuses on identifying elite scholars and making sure they get to the university of their dreams. Oftentimes, you have two dynamics in place. There's generational fear, right? There's some people who like to just keep their children around them until they're ruin their lives with marriage, or they ain't got the dough. Right? Like you got into Cornell, but baby, you're going to FIU, right?
That's 90 grand. Right.
Yeah. We just, on top of the 90 grand, it's going to cost another, we got a kid going to Syracuse, right? So we even know now that it's like $5 grand just back and forth.
Just to get back and forth. Right.
unbelievable. So what we do is we provide a 4-year transportation scholarship, which covers airfare, baggage fees, ground transportation. You got to get those receipts into Antoinette though in a timely fashion. All right, don't take your time getting those receipts in, kids. That being said, the scholars did and do all the work. Jack's Fam Foundation. Make sure they get there. For more information, log on to jacksfamfoundation.com. All right, let's slide into the 19th hole. First topic. Earlier this week, I believe it was round 1, Ian Page in the Palm Beaches, that David Ford had back-to-back eagles this week.
I mean,
can you tell us? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was crazy because he also had, his card was crazy, but I don't know if that's ever happened before. Maybe it has, but
something. But for you, I want to know your best back-to-back holes that you can recall at the top of your head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought about it because, it was about 3 summers ago, and I think I texted you and Butch. I shot 35 for 9 holes. I was playing with one of my sons. He had just gotten back from college, and I just got my new irons, my Pro 223. So I went, it was a par 3, and I stuffed it to a foot. And the next hole was a par 5. I went driver 4-iron to 6 feet, made eagle. So I went birdie eagle. And I think I made another birdie. I was like 1 under for 9 holes. Brought my cap way down, cost me a bunch of money that summer. But yeah, I went birdie eagle, tap in birdie, and then an eagle to 6 feet off a par 5. So crazy. And it was with my new 4-iron that I just had gotten. So I was like, man, these clubs are amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Next topic, bud. And this one's a good one. I like this topic here. It's my understanding, and yours as well, because you're in the same thread, that the U.S. Amateur Medal and the U.S. Junior Amateur Trophy will be named after Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, one of, if not the finest amateur golfer before his illustrious, wonderful professional career. There have been a lot, though, great amateurs throughout time. A little recency bias here. Do you think this is the appropriate designation
with it.
from a name?
I saw it a couple days ago. I know Butch sent it, but yeah, I don't have any problem with it. He did win, I think, 3 straight USAMs coming back to win, and so I'm okay.
A bunch of juniors right before that too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he won a couple. So he definitely had a impressive career as a junior. So that's fine. You can name it after him. I think everyone looks up to him. A way to kind of help his legacy and the junior game that maybe the people don't, as we get older, people don't remember people, I was in Houston a couple of months ago and I'm seeing these buildings named after this congressman that I worked for. And I'm like, wow, that was a long time ago. But, the next generation won't know that. So anyway, so I think it's good as we move forward. And he did have an incredible amateur career, so I have no problem.
3 straight U.S. juniors before the
the USAMs. Yeah, so that was pretty. I don't know if anyone's ever done. I don't think anyone's ever done that. So
craziness.
Yeah.
Well, there'll now be the Tiger Woods Medal and the Tiger Woods Trophy coming up. Next topic: the reigning Masters champion and forever honorary member of Augusta National. That honorary is a thing, by the way, because it does not give you all rights and responsibilities.
You hear that,
Rory
Gary?
McIlroy played this week at Augusta National as the champion for the first time. He played with the chairman Ridley, and I'm assuming another member. He got to bring his father. That is absolutely fantastic. Ian Page, who would be your choice as your guest at Augusta, if given the opportunity?
Oh, will I just have one guest?
Yeah, I think that's how they do us. That's the challenge.
Okay. I couldn't get Ridley to get me 3 if I can get a foursome.
I don't think you can get Chairman Ridley to do anything.
Well, I might get that motherfucker to do something. I'm gonna tell you right.
Why you gotta be AML?
I gotta say, look,
we were that close to being invited, and you just.
I need a fivesome, man. I need 5. No,
you get one. I'm giving you one. That's it's easy to fill out a foursome, right? To get 3 other people.
Yeah, I know.
Worthy. The one.
Because then I don't even know who I'm playing with. I got to know the whole vibe and everything. You know what I mean?
Ridley and who he wants. You and who you want.
I don't know if I love that. You know what I mean? Like I'm
probably the president of Coca-Cola. I mean, like he might be Secretary Rice. Who knows?
Well, in that case, then. Because normally I would take you or Butch, but if that's the case, and he probably is going to bring Condi, I don't want to play. Then I'm going to bring Barack, and we're going to go in there.
There you
I'm gonna bring 44 and bring the heat with that. Let's say, yeah, that's who I'm coming with. You know what I mean? Barack and his look-alike and his sound-alike, and we're not holding back because we're members for the day.
We're gonna do it.
So that might be what I have to do.
Solid. You can't lose there. And
even
nobody's offended. You didn't take any of the three of your sons, so nobody's.
Yeah, I mean,
they're all going to be upset, but they're upset together rather than one coming in the other one's.
And as much as Barack, I mean, he's a lefty. He doesn't hit it that far, but you know what? I guess I gotta bring 44. He's my president, man.
I appreciate you.
If I can only bring one, And
next topic.
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah,
go
well,
ahead.
let me go. Let me let it go.
You're okay. I'm glad I cut you off. There were a wave of withdrawals from the artist formerly known as the Honda Classic. The Cognizant Classic is at a tough place in the calendar now, right? Because you have the signature events right in front of it. Then right behind it, you got the Players. Now that it's moved to March, you've got Arnold Palmer right up against it. And so now you have this issue of guys, let's just be real. Guys aren't going to play 5 weeks in a row. Right? No. Most aren't playing 4 weeks in a row. And you shouldn't.
And these are big events, like you talk about. Right. You've got the two California events are signature events. Then you've got the Honda, now the Cognizant. And then you've got Bay Hill, which is signature, and then the Players. So it's been this way for a few years. It's just been on and on. It's really been in a tough spot. And, but people, that's why I say people need to be careful what they wish for, because this is what's going to happen in some tournaments next year. They're going to be gone.
But will Cognizant find its way into the mix, into a better spot? Because now the season, as we anticipate, our group led by Eldrick and friends to reshape the schedule with scarcity in mind. Are they just out, or are they?
That's the thing. You're either going to be out, or you're going. I think the problem they're going to have with being in Florida is they're going to have to. You need to be in that Florida swing. So you can either take this and get your Corn Ferry event Players, or you can be out. And
maybe you're the leadoff hitter now, though. Maybe Cognizant becomes the new Tournament of Champions.
But here's the thing.
That's what you got to work.
It ain't going to be. Let me tell you something. Tiger and Roll Up, these guys, they don't care. So you're going to get what you either, like I said, you're either going to stay where you are in between signature events and get who you can get, or these guys will play hardball and say, guess what, you're out. How about that? You want that? Now you got nobody, right? Now have a member guest.
Yeah. Well, you got to have these star-studded fields. So the signature event model works.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going anywhere. And there's only so much to. I don't even know that you can move the Florida swing, because the Florida events have got to be where they are. Because then you got,
you're starting later.
Right. Same with now. Maybe what happens, because there's a lot of talk about moving Pebble because the weather is always a disaster. Right. So if that happens, maybe there's a spot. Right. A week off, and then so we don't know, but I think again,
I can't wait till the schedule comes out. I mean,
exactly.
it's now it's going to be
but I can tell you one
weeks
thing.
Instead of 35 weeks.
It ain't going to be up to Cognizant. I'll tell you that.
We'll get their money somewhere.
They're going to take what they get. I'll tell you that right now. Or they're going to get nothing.
Last topic.
How was that tournament for 75?
I want to put this one to bed because it came up again this week, right? And the Associated Press reported that Tiger Woods has been given a soft deadline. I know you love that quote right there. A quote-unquote soft deadline prior to the Masters.
CBS going to milk this nonsense
to decide whether he would like to be captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team in 27. We talked about Adair Manor, which we've decided we're not going. We're going to just get together and watch it in a cottage somewhere.
Cabot Citrus.
In Florida, exactly.
Formerly Woods.
But here's the thing. Apparently, Tiger Woods is the only candidate that PGA of America is entertaining right now. But you had a candidate in your back pocket. Who did you say the other day that you would prop up if Tiger doesn't want to do this now? Wasn't there somebody? I thought you said someone a couple weeks ago when we were addressing this that there was somebody else that was that reasonable next in line.
Okay,
it was Sink, Stuart Sink.
Oh, okay.
You had brought him up as
maybe I don't think.
Yeah, that it was salty that Keegan got it before he did.
Me. I just don't. I'm just.
You don't care.
I'm right. I'm just so nonplussed about who. I don't care who the captain is, who wins this thing. No one remembers it except for the couple days of the weekend it's there. And lately, it's been the only thing they remember are bad memories. So I'm not really sure why we're so. It's just kind of, to me, it's kind of, what do they used to say? Jump the shark. It doesn't. It's not what it used to be. And again, you can hold a gun to people's heads and they have no idea what Jack Nicklaus's record is, what Tiger's was. So I don't really care who they get. And I don't care about it, their manner. There's going to be a time difference. I'm going to be playing golf. So
it's the 100th celebration, 100th year of the advent of Ryder Cup. You can't just go, I don't care, IP.
You know
it's
what?
a centennial.
Yeah, again, I'm not a big anniversary person, but that's great. You know what I mean? So if Tiger does it, can you imagine if he takes the captaincy and loses? Okay. I mean, is anybody going to ask him any kind of pointed questions about his strategy and things? No. So let's stop the nonsense.
What if he just Ben Crenshaw's that thing and has a feeling on a Sunday? I got a feeling.
Oh, geez. So
1999.
So and I, you know, and I don't know that does it really matter who the captain is? I mean, as a captain, if you're going to get
for the conversation, right? For the conversation
right, exactly.
leading
the
up,
whole lead up in the press,
right? Somebody's got to pick the outfits.
If you're going out there getting smoked 9 and 8, does it really matter if Keegan's the captain or Ben Crenshaw's the captain?
It matters that Luke Donald's the captain. That matters.
I mean, it's just like so. You know, and yes, you get to set up the course with you, but you know, I just don't know. You still go out and play, so go out and play.
We got a soft deadline, but
yeah. So let's see what happens with that. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he wants to deal with all of it.
I think he wants to do it eventually, but just maybe not this minute. Like he said at the press conference at the Genesis. I mean, he was busy, got stuff. He's got stuff. Yeah.
But he knows too, how much he'd have to talk to the media. You know,
it's a lot. It's a lot. And while he's not playing, and then that little stretch, in August when the last bit of points,
and and he's sort of coming around a little bit, but he got a long ways to go for that. So
let's see if he plays in the Masters first.
Well, he will not.
The 19th hole. I love it in here. I love it. Let's get to the golf schedule. As we alluded to, Bay Hill Invitational at Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Golf Course, and cottages and resorts and whatnot.
Bay Hill's a great track. I love
Man, did we have a time playing at Bay Hill.
Yeah, so I played there many a times and used to live 2 minutes from there. So
fantastic. Russell Henley, your defending champ. The ladies, IP doesn't care because they're in China playing the Blue Bay LPGA event there in Rio de Janeiro, the defending champ there. The champions are back. They'll be in Boca, right up the street from me, defending champ Angel Cabrera. And this is an event that used to be in Jersey, by the way. I played in this event years ago in a different advent, but this is the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational.
Oh,
I got a couple plaques around here playing that thing when it was in Jersey.
I remember that event. Yeah. I
had some time on my hands at the time, so might as well go play some golf with Emmitt Smith.
Exactly.
And then the Joburg Open in Johannesburg in South Africa for the World Tour, and that's everything that's coming up, and we'll keep an eyeball on all of it. We really appreciate Brad for coming by. It was really cool to have that conversation, get into the life and understanding of the horrible life decision one makes to be club pro. But we're glad they're there, though. We need them.
Yeah, somebody has to do it.
Call ahead. Can you call up to Yasna Pilata and get me a tea time, please? I need you. My God, I love my guy Kenny Phil. But Club Pro Brad Petashnick, kind enough to come on the program. Always thank you to Bryce for the audio, Matt for the video, the show coordinator, and Mama du jour, who wants to learn this beautiful game now, IP, and today. Appreciate them all. That's going to do it for our Ian Page. I'm Jason Jackson. We'll talk to you next time in the bag.
Play bad fast, will you?
And I'm coming back. I'm back. There's going to be tire tracks all over the Biltmore from the car show, and I don't care. I'll one out there.